Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump have spoken on the phone. You were briefed on the conversation. Is this a risk for yourself, of course, but also the U.S.?
Phone calls between Putin and Trump was risk for United States? I think not risk for United States. I think for Trump, because he's stronger than Putin, I think so. I think risks for all the world. Because the priority is, we have much more risks than risk for the United States, with all respect, for all of us, with all the big guys. Good conversation with the President Trump. We had some phone calls, and he had phone call with Putin, and he said to me, I think that that he wants to stop the war. I said to him that he is a liar, and you can count on it. I hope that you will pressure him, because I don't trust him. We had such conversations with Putin, direct conversation about ceasefire. So just ceasefire, we don't need just ceasefire. This is global problem. So we had ceasefire. It was my direct decision. And we made a decision that it will be ceasefire and exchange all the prisoners. And he didn't change all the prisoners yet. We've been very happy. That was first step when we brought home more than 100 guys to their family. It was very necessary between us. Even because of this one reason, I had to come to France in 2019 and bring back people. But he will not just, ceasefire and that's all. That's why I said to President, yes, but I think phone calls are phone calls. Let's forget about it. I think what is very important, the meeting, not to make any decisions about Ukraine without Ukraine. This is principal position we will never accept it. And when I said that we will never accept, I'm not speaking just about me. I'm speaking about all our people, all our nation. People will not stop. We will give him pause. Without real security guarantees, we will give him pause. I don't want to, be those person in the history who helped Putin to occupy my country. I don't want it. And that's why I will never do it. I will never do it. And it's very important for me to pressure Putin, put all the sanctions. I think President Trump is ready to do it. He has all this power to do it. That's why I wanted very much to come to Washington any day this century. And to come to Washington, and I think we need very much to make the common plan of civilized people and to share all these things with our friends and with the help of our friends of Europe. It's very necessary not to lose this unity. I'm so proud that we are part of such strong Europe. And I think that it's important, very important, not to lose this unity. Before this war, maybe not too much things, by the way, which this war made positively. That unity between the United States and Europe. That's what this war brought. And Putin scared it. I think during the last 20, 25 years, I don't remember how many years he is in Kremlin. So, this is the first time when the unity could pressure him, and he couldn't occupy us because of this unity, because of our people and soldiers, of course, but because of this, not to lose it, and now to make a deal without us or without Europe is not a good idea, and I hope that President Trump doesn't have this idea. I count on it very much. In all our cities, when people just try to do business, and not bad, really, and then helps our soldiers. That's the reaction on everything. And of course, when we hear, some not positive messages, of course, it has big influence. The worst thing when you have big influence on moral of the people, because, today, I think only such things, love to Ukraine, believing and trusting that we will have just peace and will that we will defend our country, and we are right, and it's fair, absolutely. And I think that's things which really hold us. But about the NATO, I mean that I heard so many times from American side. By the way, Biden's administration and now from President Trump, I heard a lot of messages from them by phone. My first phone call with the President Biden, and my first question, will we be in NATO? He said no, and I said we will see. And then we had more meetings, more questions, but be very honest, United States, they never saw us in NATO. They just spoke about it. But they really didn't want us in NATO. It's true. I'm not about people, and there are a lot of congressmen, yes, senators, it's true, who've been always in participation with our NATO will, but really on the level of leader of the country, on the level of president, never I heard it, but during my term, I never heard that we will be in NATO. Never. So it's not the question to Trump, to President Trump, with all respect to everybody, that's the question to the policy of the United States or of the White House. This is the policy that Ukraine is not in NATO. But it doesn't mean that we can't change this, because now we see that NATO in Europe consists of strong soldiers, mostly in Ukraine. We are not in NATO, but we really have strong army, which can really make stronger NATO everywhere. And I think this is in both interests, to have Ukraine in NATO, and both interests, in interest of Ukraine and in interest of NATO. And that's why when we speak, and we spoke with the President Biden, and we spoke with the President Trump, and especially now with the President Trump, I asked, so, okay, if it's not NATO for today, if it's not NATO, we will ask tomorrow, it doesn't matter. But if we're speaking about today, what alternatives? What you know, the alternatives? I don't know. What I see, if we don't have NATO, real NATO, we will make NATO in Ukraine. It means that we need to increase our soldiers, our army, twice. We have 110 brigades. Russia has 220 brigades, real brigades. So they are 2 times bigger than we for today. Yes, but they're increasing mobilization and training, what they're doing now. NATO, this real brigades in Europe, what can I say? The real brigades in Europe, it's about 82. Today I spoke with senators, 82 brigades, and we have 110. Even together, we are not comparable with Russian army. Even together. So we have increased together. So if we speak security guarantees, we have to find money for a bigger army for Ukraine. And also we have to find possibility how to increase production and increase army in Europe. Who knows? Maybe it's common forces. I don't know. We are ready to speak.
Yeah.